Okay, here is your assignment for today. We're doing a related rates problem, exactly what we did yesterday. This time we're going to apply it to an actual situation. You have the height of the container is at 10 centimeters and the diameter of the opening is at 10 centimeters as well. It's a right circular cone. So the water in the container is evaporating, so the depth H is changing at a rate of -3/10 centimeters per hour. So since they use that verb, evaporating, it means you're losing, right? Evaporating should come to your mind, I'm losing. So if you ever get a problem like this, think to yourself, what would be my rate of change depending upon the verb tense that they're using, okay? So if this said that the water in the container is filling up, so then obviously I would have a positive rate of change instead of a negative. Now, the volume of the cone, height h, and radius r is given by the volume equals to 1/3 pi r squared h. In part A, suppose you're asked to find the rate of change of the volume of the water. And they give you the depth of the water in 5 centimeters. Have you noticed they haven't said anything about the radius? No information about the radius, right? It's everything's in terms of either volume or height. They did not give you anything about the radius here. Here's what they kind of like subtly challenged you with. If I look at the height of the cone and I superimpose it right down the middle, that's the same height, right? Height for height. I notice that I make a right triangle with the radius and the height. Do you see that? So you notice how they also called it what? A right circular cone. Because if I look at the ratio of the height to the radius, okay, I actually can create something called a slant height of the cone. You see how it makes a triangle with the side of the cone here. So the information that they actually do not give to you here, it's a relationship between the radius and the height, is this. The radius is equal to 1/2 the height. So going back to my algebra days, this is a substitution. So instead of having an equation that has volume, radius, and height, I'm going to have an equation that will deal with only what? Volume and height only. If I make this substitution, guys, okay? So this is going to make my derivative a lot easier in the long run. Okay? So I'm going to replace r with what? What am I replacing r with? No. What am I replacing r with? I circled it. Exactly. Okay, I'm replacing it with 1/2 h. So the first question says, explain why the formula v could not be implicitly differentiated with respect to time in order to determine this rate. I have a volume equation. Is this showing me the rate of change, or is this showing me an amount? You need to go ahead and explain that. The second part is where you actually show what has to be done in order to find this rate. So remember that rates look like this in calculus. dH dt is equal to, they tell you right here, -3/10 centimeters per hour. That's a rate. They want you to find dV dt eventually. So again, this is a rate, right? That's a rate expression. The volume of a right circular cone, does that look anything like dH dt or dV dt? Does it look like that at all? What I mean by does it look like the same variables or the same expression style? It is, so V is dV dt. How? How? How come this has dV dt but this doesn't have it? How are they both the same? Do you see what I'm saying? This is a rate of change. This is what? What would this V really just stand for? V what? The volume, which means a certain amount. It's just telling me an amount. If I put a number for R and H, I'll get an amount, right? That's not telling me how much is changing per hour. It's just giving me an amount. So again, I'm giving you some clues about that, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and stop.